Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking once more about SOS Limited. Now in this video we're going to talk a bit about the latest news, technical analysis, and what we anticipate happening in the next few days or so. So SOS, this company here, holds multiple different subsidiaries. If you've watched it before, one of the most prominent one currently is their cryptocurrency division. They also have life rescue services, medical rescue services, basic cloud services, financial rescue services, vehicle rescue services, and internet insurance services. But the main prominent one has been their Bitcoin mining operations. Now, over here on November 9th, here they were talking about SOS has been actively expanding its global footprint during the last year or so. The total power of Wisconsin Center is expected to be around 50 megawatts, fueled by renewable power and grid power. The Wisconsin facility is projected to have a total Bitcoin hash power of around 1000 pH once in full capacity of operation. Phase 1 of the center is projected to use up to 20 megawatts, which is 17 units of mobile smart centers, and they're equipped for this purpose. At present, 6 units of mobile smart data centers have arrived in Wisconsin, and another 11 units mobile smart data centers are in transit and are expected to arrive around December 2021. Mr. Yandy Wang, the CEO and the chairman of SOS, commented, "The supercomputing and hosting center in Wisconsin is an important part of SOS' effort to create its own blockchain technology-based ecosystem. We look forward to launching our supercomputing and hosting services business in Wisconsin in the first quarter of 2022. So that is a little bit off what they're looking forward, and they put it in an attempt to remind people of their cryptocurrency business and operation. As you get to see, the one before was all the way back in October 18th, 2021. So it's been a little bit of a while, and their main attempt here was to show you a bit of an update on their Bitcoin mining capacity to raise the stock price. But what they've done as well, the stock didn't really raise that much. I mean, it did see a little bit of a push and then crumbled. Why? Because they did what a lot of different companies do. They give you a bullish news and then slap you with a direct offering. So that's how they're paying for all this. It's mainly towards direct offering for a stock that really had a high of around $16, currently trading around 146. The last kind of nail in the tomb or the nail in the coffin is basically this offering. It's a $90.1 million registered direct offering. The current market cap is around 400 million, so it's liquidating the company by, or diluting the company by 25%. Now for this one here, it says, under the terms of the security purchase agreement, the company has agreed to sell around 51.5 million shares at a price of around 1.75 per share. In addition, effective on the closing date of this offering, the company has agreed to voluntarily reduce the exercise price of ADC warrants purchased, issued on February 17th, 2021, and a bunch of others. The gross proceeds to the company for the registered direct offerings are estimated to be $90.1 million before deducting the placements, agents, filing fees, that kind of thing, and they're expected to close on or about November 12th, 2021. Now, subject to customary closing conditions. So this stock definitely took a massive hit because of this news after they really attempted to skyrocket the stock price the day before, and that failed, and they had everything in motion and it just really tanked. Now, the big thing is that this stock, SOS, does have a history of putting in offerings, and that is one of the reasons that they're actually lost a lot of their price point. And another one is that that's how they're paying for a lot of the Bitcoin mining operations. Now, when we're looking into things like institutional buyers, Goldman Sachs Group added today around 12,180 shares. So they did see some interest, although Citigroup liquidated earlier today. You do see some activity going in November. We get to see some additions, some liquidation. BlackRock currently has 3.5 million shares of this company at an average share price of $272. So if you currently buy right now, you have a better price per share than BlackRock themselves. In terms of the short shares availability, there's around 65,000 shares only available to short sell at a very small short borrow fee rate of 5.18. Now, in terms of the short interest as a percentage of float, you're seeing here it's 12.64%. In terms of the total shares outstanding, it's around 1.8 billion shares. Now, this is significantly lower than what's seen on FinViz, and you're able to see that the market cap here is a lot higher than what you see in FinViz. So that might be an aspect where people are seeing it's 1/4. If it's 1.8 billion, adding 100 million more into the shares outstanding, roughly around there, I think it was around 75 million. Right here, we're able to see it is around 51 million shares. It's nothing when you're adding into the shares outstanding. So that's something to consider. I think a lot of people were looking at FinViz rather than E-Trade. The price over sales here shows 1.76 and price over book is 0.69. Now, this might not be updated to the total shares outstanding, but if that is the case, this is at least 3 times more undervalued than the current market average. So it would hit 300% and it would still be just around normal valuation than its peers. Now, another thing I do want to talk about is technical analysis, but before doing so, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave notifications on for this channel. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video if you've enjoyed this video so far. Let's move on now towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, what we're seeing here, and of course we dropped around 30%. So first off, the short sell rule restricts short selling after 10% drop, so that's in effect currently. But let's talk a little bit things about that really matter rather than just the obvious things like the price point is below all averages, all the averages have been pointing downwards. Well, yeah, because you dropped significantly. The ADX is showing this, that it's not really a trend or anything. This was kind of a just kind of a start of a thing maybe, but not really a trend. William percent R shows it's heavily oversold. By the way, this is very similar to the relative strength index, and that's kind of a given. The MACD histogram, you're seeing a negative reversal here, a very strong one. That's a dangerous one to be really reckoning with. It shows that that negative reversal started kicking in on the 2nd of November, but really the nail into the coffin was mainly hitting in towards that direct offering that really killed the price, but in general, it was kind of sliding and sideways and a bit downwards. Momentum has really dropped significantly. It has negative momentum, a negative 0.1. The last time it's seen such thing would probably be back in May 2021. In terms of stochastic fast and stochastic slow, both are kind of pinpointing downwards, suggesting this might be actually some time to buy if you're looking for kind of a reversal or a jump in general. Now, momentum was low, but you're able to see volumes are record highs compared all the way since the 7th of April. Now, the 7th of April had a really massive kind of tug of war. Wasn't something significant there on price action, but you're able to see here that the Bollinger Bands are expecting this one to trade between 275 and 176, and currently on the moving average bands, it's between 248 and 203. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci retracements, you're able to see that the base, all 4 support is at 121. Currently, it's very close to there. Resistances are at 467, 681, 854, 1028, and 1274. In terms of price line action, we're able to see a few. First off, if we were to take a look at where the exact support is, it's 121. And it's a little bit harder to see from 121 to 146. I'm going to zoom here. And then you have another support around the 133. And that's about it. Resistances are going to be around 197, 278, and a little bit around 394. But most recently, you're going to be able to see a few here going to around 204, going higher to 221, 228, 254, and then around 280, going upwards to around 303, 332, and 351, jumping all the way higher to 391. Now comes to the question, Ed, what do you think is going to happen here? Well, based on my experience, a stock like this that performed really high around 1588 previously and is really using the stock market to jump itself, the fundamentals seem to be at this point with this much drop to be a little bit undervalued, but that's not really adjusted yet to the new measurements, the new number of shares, that kind of thing. So we still gotta wait to see how accurate these fundamentals are. But I do anticipate for this one within the next couple of days to see a bit of a bounce. It might not be all the way up. It'd probably be around 160, 170, and then slide a little bit downwards or sideways until actual good progress and profit growth is reported in the next earning. What do you think is going to happen here? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.